Hey, it's Jess. Sorry about leaving you with a cliffhanger on that last one. It's really hard to get to making these videos when you have 3 kids and it's summertime and 2 jobs and you're trying to get it all done. I haven't had a second to myself to do this. So here's my first chance, and I left you with a bit of a cliffhanger there as to what was by accident, not on purpose. And if anybody knows something other than Clipchamp that I can use for recording these that will last 10 or 20 minutes and not just cut you off at 5 minutes, please go ahead and write it in and let me know, because that would be incredibly helpful. So this horrible sound at my window, middle of the night, and how old am I? 15 years old, roughly. And I'm so sick and tired of being scared. And I sit up and I throw back the curtain. And here is this 2-foot tall owl, huge, right? It's filling the entire window. I mean, 2 feet tall when you're looking face to face at it. It's this huge owl, and he's flapping his wings and he's using his beak and he's trying to break into the window. And I am horrified and terrified, and I basically get out of my room as quick as I can and run back down to the house, hoping that he doesn't follow me, and he didn't. That is a really out of the ordinary thing for an owl to want to do, get into your room. And that has stuck out for me. Like, that's a memory I'll never forget as being really, really creepy. Like, that wasn't a normal owl. I don't know how else to say it. You'll just have to take my word for it. It wasn't a normal owl. Owls just don't do that. And I've never seen a 2-foot owl in our area. I only see pygmy owls, tiny little guys. That's the usual size, not like 2 feet tall. Okay, so biological evidence. I don't have any. I have memories of waking up and finding really odd bruising on my body, like a lot of odd bruising. Bruising in places that I didn't stumble, kind of on my stomach area, hip area. I remember finding fingerprints on my upper arm. I think there were 2 or 3, just a few, just a couple, not like a hand. Somewhere, and I think there were 2 places on my body at 2 different times, I remember finding hypodermic marks, or else like little red needle marks, and it was in a little triangle pattern, and it was somewhere on the inside of my arm. I can't really remember. Here's my arm, somewhere in here. I can't remember. Sorry, but it stood out to me as super bizarre as to how did I get a triangle mark? 3 red points, 3 little red points, and it probably, like, how big is that? 1 centimeter apart, equilateral triangle. And there was no way I could have done that to myself. Like, it just didn't make sense. And at that same time, I developed a weird little bump at the base of my skull. We actually went into the pediatrician for it, and they didn't know what it was. And they said, don't worry about it. So I didn't worry about it. But that weird lump just suddenly appeared one night, and it came and went. Sometimes I could feel it, and sometimes I couldn't. I think it's still in there somewhere, but I don't know what that little lump is. It was pretty weird. So yeah, so those are my memories. How come I think it's the Greys and not the military? I think this because back in December, about 2 weeks after Alex Collier said that the net was coming down, which you can go back and figure out what all that is, best of luck. I started getting, there were a number of instances that we had that were very odd, and I got back a couple of memories. One of those memories was the last time prior to my incarnation for this life, and we were going over, there was a soul guide, and there was myself, and we were talking about the next life and plans for it. And then he said, and before you go, you have one last request from someone. And I said, oh, I'm totally honored. What is the request? And basically a hologram. He told me it was a holographic projection. So there you have it. A holographic projection of a gray alien being who was taller than I was, so probably 5 foot tall. I'm 5'4", but it was taller than me, so maybe 6 foot tall. This gray alien being was basically an elder female, and I was told that we had a physical relationship somehow. One of us was like somebody's great-great-grandmother. I don't know which